whatever. But anyway, I gotta get going.
Yes.
Let me plug
Yeah.
all the things you're on because you're a social media superstar. You're at
Yeah,
Florence
sure.
Carmela on Twitter, and I know you live on Twitter almost as much as I do, which is awesome.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like I have to because that's where I get most of my guests. That's where I get most of my interviews. Because that's another thing. People, with that little blue check mark, the famous people, the well-known people, they start following you.
I want that check mark so bad.
For me, that's an opportunity to ask them if I can interview them. That's an opportunity to write a feature on them. And that's where I get most of them. So yeah, I do live on Twitter because that's actually been one of the best things. It's how I got my radio job. It happens to be one of the best tools. People don't realize. So use social media. Use it because it's there for you.
Yeah, it's definitely a tool. So at Florence Carmela, and then FlorenceCarmela.com, the website you mentioned, but you're also on Facebook, Instagram. You're just you're just a superstar, and you're just starting. It's just starting for you. You're gonna next year. You could be president or something. Who knows?
Yeah. No. You're so cute. You're so funny. But no, thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking to you. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I was so happy when you asked me.
I need to have you on because I told you some of the questions I want to ask, and I only got to like 2 of them, so I got to have you on. So let me when the Patriots play, because you're in Connecticut, right?
Yes.
And I know you're a big NFL fan. So when the Patriots play the Steelers in a few weeks, how about we go on again and we talk some more?
Oh my God, we should definitely. Oh my God, yes, let's do that again. Just let me know.
I didn't even ask him because I see you with Steelers Bitmoji sometimes. I don't know if you're a Steelers fan because I know
no. I do that for Rudy. I just do it for Rudy. I do it to kind of just like nudge Rudy. Because the Steelers have been very good. The Steelers have been wonderful. I give him that. Rudy is a diehard Steelers fan, and I kind of do it for him. That was just sort of my way of saying, you know what, I'm giving it to you. Your guys are good. Yeah. I'm not a big sports person, but I will say that I do like the Patriots, and I love the Super Bowl, and I get all into it. And living in New England, it's hard not to be a Patriots fan. It really is. It's really hard. It's almost like if you're not, like, you're banished from like
the whole region embraces it. That's for sure.
My God! But yeah, definitely, I'll come back on.
Yes, thank you so much. It was great meeting you.
Oh, me too. Thank you so much, Joe. I really enjoyed this. Thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, now to talk about what's going on with the Steelers, I have Rudy Reyes. He is a sportscaster at CBS 5 in Cheyenne, and he has his own show, The Rude Dog Show. Rudy, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate that.
No problem. So, you're from California, right?
Southern California.
How is a guy from California such a big Steelers fan?
I usually get those kinds of questions asked to me. It's actually a really long story, but I'll give you the quick surmise of it. In 2001, Flight 93 crashed outside of Pittsburgh and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Yeah. And the people that were aboard that plane from New York, New Jersey, of course from Pittsburgh, took that plane down. And it just so happens that that's my birthday, 9/11. That's kind of the small version, if you will. But I just basically decided that I was going to dedicate my time and effort and energy to get other fans on board with knowing who these players are, outside of numbers, outside of forced fumbles and tackles and interceptions and all the X's and O's, and just kind of get down to who they are. And so in 2014, I attended Steelers training camp for the very first time at Latrobe. For those that are listening, if you haven't been there, you should definitely go. It's an experience you'll take with you forever. And when I attended the first 2 days as a fan, and then I attended the last day of training camp in 2014 as I was working for the local ESPN iHeart affiliate on a remote basis. I required credentials to be on the field. So that's kind of how it all started.
Yeah, This was my first year going to Latrobe, and I've lived in the Pittsburgh area all my life, but I've never been to a Steelers training camp until this year, and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like a magical experience, but it's a great experience for a Steelers fan. Going, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and you just have this little stadium, and it's so you get to be so close, and it's such a great experience.
It definitely is. What's even more interesting about my journey, to be a lot more specific, is there was a gentleman who had approached me after training camp was over, and he says, "Hey, were you the guy on the field?" I said, "There was a lot of guys on the field today. What guy are you referring to?" He said, "Well, you were out there wearing the Oakleys." And I said, "Okay, this isn't a plug for Oakley, by the way." And he says, "Hey," he said, "yeah, I got a photo of you." I said, "Oh, you do?" I said, "Well, that's interesting. Why don't you send it over to me?" So he emailed it, and sure enough, yep, it was definitely me. And to add to that, when I was leaving, I'm headed out of the Latrobe area, I had to go downtown, as they like to call it. Of course, I love the saying. I understand Pittsburghese to a degree. I'm from California, so I get it. And on my way down there to downtown, and it was for the American Cancer Society. I was the MC to raffle off a lot of these items. A lady called in last minute; she's sick or what have you. So I said, "Okay, cool, no problem." I had seen a photo come across my Twitter line, and it was of me standing on the field, and the Steelers photographer taking the photo. And here comes Greg Warren and Matt's Hey. If you go to @RootDogReyes on Twitter, you'll see the photo, or you can go to the RootDogShow.com and see the photo as well. But I didn't know that photo was taken of me, so as I was headed to downtown Pittsburgh, sure enough, here comes this photo across my Twitter line, and sure enough, it was me. And that's, again, that kind of helped propel me to, I guess, where I'm at right now, which is in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Awesome. So, sounds like you know a little bit of Pittsburghese. Are you familiar with the term jagoff?
Yes, I am, and I am not one of them.
You are not.
No, I am not one of them. I do not qualify for that terminology, only for the simple fact that I know what that means, and I've watched enough Pittsburgh Dad, and you jag off on Twitter and their YouTube channel and so on and so forth, and I know a lot of community members as well, along with people from KDKA and Bob Pompiani, the whole Pompiani family. Of course, Pompin's never easy, especially during this time of year where they're very busy. Charity events and funds and that. Matter of fact, I went so far as to apply for the Pittsburgh Penguins as a part of their video crew. I didn't get the job, clearly. But many times if I've seen, Steelers positions, every now and again, not many, because when you're with an NFL organization, you're there like for life, and you end up retiring, and so forth. Teresa Varley's a good example of that. She didn't start off as a columnist or a photographer, what have you, but a lot of great components. Matter of fact, in the 2018 NFL draft, I interviewed Terrell Edmonds. I happened to be in Arlington. He happened to be in Arlington. So that interview you can find also on the RootDogShow.com under the 2018 NFL draft page, along with like Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, and Mika Fitzpatrick got drafted by the Dolphins, and Van Der Esch will be playing tomorrow, in fact, against the Washington Redskins. It's just it's a great city. It's a great environment. Great people. I associate with the blue collar mentality, so much so that whenever there's an opportunity to talk to somebody from the Burgh, as they like to call people from the Burgh or from the Burgh, you're either from the Burgh or you're not from the Burgh, and just in talking with a lot of the people who live there, who live around there, whether it's in Virginia or Maryland or what have you. It just seemed to have a certain esque about them that I can identify with. And I'll go even further. If there's ever a position open in Pittsburgh, I'm going to apply for it. There's no guarantee I'll get it, of course, but I'm going to apply for it.
You're coming here. It's your destiny, man. You're coming here.
We'll see. I'm definitely going to retire.
You and me, we're going to Permanis.
I've been there, and I will admit, I did not have the slaw.
Oh, you know what? I don't either. Don't feel bad. I don't.
Okay, good. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
anymore.
of coleslaw. I don't like that. So yeah, I get my sandwich without the slaw.
Me either. And of course, everybody I told that to said, "You didn't get the slaw."
Right.
It's like I was being ran over by a Mack truck a couple times. Like,
right,
oh, okay.
Right. You're a terrible person if you don't get the full Permanis experience. Like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. I guess not. But I'll tell you what, it's probably one of the best wild concoctions I think I've ever had as part of a sandwich.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned the Pompianis because I call them the royal family of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they are.
And now Selena is she works at the same station with Bob.
Yep.
and she does the traffic and she does stuff for the Penguins and she's like the nicest person ever. And then occasionally Bob's wife Lisa like follows what I do on social media. I'm like, this is so weird, and like some of the things I do aren't exactly appropriate. It's like, oh, I hope she doesn't see the bad stuff. But yeah, they're all extremely nice. So. But,
yes, very, very, very much so, and the baby will experience her first Christmas.
Yes.
The grandchild in the family. So,
yes.
My hat is off. Of course, it is a Steelers hat, so I take that off for her first Christmas. So good for them. Good family, strong genes, all Pittsburgh based, and they've always treated me with nothing but the utmost respect, whether it's through communication on social media or what have you. So they are definitely a gem. Shout out to the whole Pompiani family. And popping ain't easy. So
that's right. That's right. So about the Steelers, they've had an interesting year. It was a bad start, but they've really recovered lately. What do you think about how their season has gone so far?
Well, to open up the season to have a tie, that's certainly something you really have to look out for. And clearly the Steelers are not known to tie. I mean, they have historically, but far few in between to open up a season on a tie. However, winning the last 6-7, that speaks to the credit of what Coach Tomlin's done. Of course, everybody talks about Tomlinism and how it's the standard is the standard. Of course, the standard was the standard before Tomlin ever became coach. So I just want to put that out there. Is when Chuck Noll was head coach there, only one of 3 head coaches in history. But I think that when you look at the team, when you look at how it started, you look at how it rolled. I mean, they ended up shellacking the Panthers at home, over 50 points, and then they go into Jacksonville and nearly lay an egg because of just poor execution, poor timing, the snaps, the interceptions. I think a lot to be desired from certain types of gameplay, quarterback play, offensive line play. And to say the least, the team is on a roll in a variety of ways. And I think one of those is the fact that they're getting hot at the right time. Other teams in the NFL may not be getting hot at the right time. But I think it's going to be interesting moving forward with both the Bengals and Ravens at 5-5. You're playing 500 ball. Steelers clearly own the AFC North, and they have for their almost like the last infinity and beyond, to my knowledge, and very consistently done, I might add. But one thing that actually has changed, everybody wants to talk about the whole Le'Veon Bell thing. Look, that's old news. You got to let it go. That is not the topic of conversation now. The topic of conversation is the fact that the other running back, not named Le'Veon Bell and James Conner, is 4th in Pro Bowl voting behind Todd Gurley. It just makes you wonder how dynamic he was. Of course, he was taken out of the game based